Before we get into the video, for those of you who are interested in watching to see how I made this delicious blueberry jam cake with the blueberry cream cheese frosting, I just wanted to say real quick that this video is going to be longer than any video I've made because it's not just an 8-minute cake or even a 20-minute cake. So just hang in there with me. I pray that you'll enjoy the video, but try to watch it all because it's very informative and I did make it just as Chrissy did. Thank you for watching.
Now today we're going to make a jam cake using a white layer cake, and Christy's going to show us how.
Julia, a white layer cake is a really elegant cake. It's characterized by this pure white color, a really delicate texture, and a fine crumb. That's why they use white layer cakes for a lot of wedding cakes.
So as you can see, I was right in front of my television watching Christy make this beautiful blueberry jam cake. So I'm just going to give it a try, see if I can make the same thing. What captured me, of course, is how she did the frosting on the outside with the blueberry and the cream cheese. So let's just get right into it and see if I can do exactly what Krista showed us how to do. So what we're going to do now is make the filling for the cake. I have the 3 cups thawed blueberries, a half a cup of white sugar, and this is the Sure Gel fruit pectin. I had never heard of this either, so I really enjoy making and trying new recipes. So we're just going to get 2 tablespoons of this stuff. That's about 2 tablespoons. Hold on, guys. You know I like to measure it off with the, so I'm going to use the edge of my fork to make sure that it is 2 tablespoons. Wasting some on the counter, but that's okay. Don't want to put too much. So I measured that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sugar in here along with the pectin. I'm just going to kind of grind that for 3 seconds of what she said. That's about 3 seconds, right? And now I think this is a small food processor. I'm not really even 100% sure. Let's just pray that it is, because now I'm going to put the blueberries in there. God help us. Because I believe that's what this is. It's a food processor and a grinder chopper. Oh man, got that on my... Okay, so they're nice and thawed, and I'm just going to pulse this until it's ready. And guys, I have more if needed, but I'm trying to do this way, because she had one of them large food processors, and I just gave mine over to my daughter, so I'm using what I have, and I hope that it works. So let's go for it. Of course, it'll take me longer to pulse than what she had, right? She said, according to the recipe, 6 to 8 pulses, but it takes me longer because my processor is smaller. It's looking good. It's looking good. Oh, and I will be using 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice for this. So let me get the lemon juice. So now what I'm going to do is transfer these kind of coarsely chopped, grinded blueberries. I hope that's right. Let me just look at it with the fork and see. I think that's good enough. It's only supposed to be coarsely chopped or ground or processed. And you could add a pinch of salt to that, I believe. I didn't add a pinch of salt butter and all the other stuff has, you know. Anyway, so now I'm gonna transfer this into my pot. Just showing it all to you guys. Raw and uncut. Uncut. Alright. So now, put that to the side, and I'll be back in a moment when we get ready to do that part. Make it thick. Okay, so now I'm just going to cook this until it bubbles just a little bit. It should thicken a little bit. Just read the instructions. Bring to a medium heat, stirring occasionally until mixture is bubbling or just starting to thicken. So about 6 to 8 minutes, I'll do that. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice, and I'm going to transfer it to the refrigerator to let it sit for about 3 hours. And then you'll see me do the part where I'm straining some of the jam. It says I'm only going to do 1 1/3 cup, put in the refrigerator, and then the other part I'm going to strain it so that I can add it to the frosting. So I'm just going to do this and I'll be right back. So I let it cook until it starts to bubble and thicken just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is turn the heat off. And then I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of, it says, turn it off and stir in the lemon juice. So that's 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, so now that I've added the lemon juice, I'm going to pour 1 1/3 cup of the okay, so as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and pour 1 1/3 cup of the sauce, blueberry, into one 1/3 is all I need, so I should have about, just making sure guys, just making sure. Perfect, that is 1 1/3 cup. And now I'm going to strain the rest for the frosting. I'm going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think she said about 1/4, that's what should be left, which looks like about that. And I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to strain it through this mesh just for until it comes through. I'm just going to do that until it is strained through. Okay, so now that I've done all of the straining of the remaining blueberry, it's nice and smooth, and I'm going to set this aside and begin doing part 3, which is making the frosting in a dark color purple and a light color purple, or something like that. So we're just going to get started with that. I'm really excited. This is coming out really nicely. I was a little afraid at first because of the, when I finished the jam, it didn't look as thick, but I can see that it's thickening up really quickly. As you can see, that is jelly-like form without all the pulp. Hello. So right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and make the frosting. I have not put the cake in the oven yet. I'm going to do that in a moment, but I wanted to go ahead and do the frosting. I know that seems a little bit backwards. It's only because I have the jam sitting in the refrigerator for 3 hours, so I didn't want my cake to be too cold. Of course I want it to be cold, so I'm going to do that right after I do this. So let's just get started. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the 1 stick of butter because I want to color the frosting. So I'm going to do this, kind of mix it up a little bit before I use the stand mixer. And then once I do this part, I'm going to mix it. This is the cream cheese. I'm just going to put the cream cheese in here. And then I will come back when I'm going to make the 2 colors for the frosting. Well, I beat it, and really because everything was so soft, I didn't have to beat it too long. So now you just want to get it until it's smooth so there's no more lumps in there. And as you can see, there's no more lumps there because everything was room temperature. So we have a good mix going on right here. So now I'm just going to get ready to do the part where I color the part of it with the blueberries to get that dark purple and then have that light purple, and then I'll put the cake in the oven and you'll see me do that as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the what do you call them? The strained blueberries to the frosting. Just following instructions. Okay, and then I'm going to mix it. I could mix it with the mixer, but I'm just going to go ahead and mix it like this. Hers came out really beautiful purple. Okay, it's coming out nicely. That is 2 tablespoons. Let's get all the white, which makes it a nice kind of pinkish hue. Not too dark purple. So this is going to be that top layer. And I forgot to tell you guys, I had added 2 teaspoons of vanilla to the frosting. My oven is ready for the cake, which is only going to take me a few minutes to make. I just wanted to make sure I had this all ready, because this was, for me, watching it over and over the video, this was like the hard part for me. But it's not really hard. It's just that when I study a recipe, it takes me a moment to say, I got it, you know, before I actually do it. So I'm just going to scrape all this off, and then I'm going to add 1/3 of this mix frosting to each of the small bowls so that I can make the color change. Alrighty. So that looks really nice. I should say so myself. And I have my 1/3 cup here. I like to get all the frosting off. Okay. Okay, so I have all the frosting off. And now I'm just going to take 1/3 and I'm going to transfer it over here. You know, this could be messy, can't it? Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Let's get that over so you can see. I'm just transferring the 1/3 of frosting. Try not to be so messy, but it can be messy because it's frosting and it's so soft. And I know that jam is going quite wet in the refrigerator. So I put 1/3 in there, and then I'm gonna put, that's about 1/3. Perfect, Shonda. 1/3 in here. Okay. And once I do that, then I will see what I do next. And yeah. So I'm going to set this to the side so you can see the 2 1/3. And let's see what I do next. Okay, so now I'm just gonna bring these two here, and I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon. First, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon, which that's about 1 tablespoon of this, you know what I mean. I'm sorry, my mind is just having a little blank right there. But she said add 1 tablespoon, so that's going to make this darker purple. So we're making a purple chart, is how the other lady described it. I see why we wanted to strain it, so that you won't have all those pits on your frosting. So you make this one darker. Sorry for the noise, guys. But you make it so, okay, so that's the 1 tablespoon. And then I'm just going to add the 1 teaspoon to this one to make it lighter purple, but a different purple. I'm really excited because I feel like I'm achieving what I set out to do. And it's looking really good. So we have 3, as you can see. Let's get this out the way. This one is lighter than the first one. Make sure I stir it really well and get all of the, make sure there's no lumps or anything. Because this one, I think, one of these, I'm just going to probably use a fork. But this is going to be the one on the top. And I'm just going to set it all this to the side. And then I'm going to work on making the cake. Now you can see that this is 3 different color shades of purple, or plum, whatever you want to call it. So you see that one is darker than the other one. I hope you can see that. I can. And then we have the lighter, which you can see that that's even lighter than this one. So yeah, so now I'm going to work on the cake. I'm going to pull the mixer over, and we're going to work on that. If I have to pause just so you won't hear all the noise, I won't pause it, but I'll try to mute it so you won't hear all the noise. So I am back. Let's get to the cake. So I'm just going to follow the instructions as Christy was saying, and I want to share this with you real quick. There's 2 recipes. I put in, I really wanted the one that she's actually doing on the video, which if you put in old-fashioned blueberry jam cake, that's the recipe going to come up. I'll tell you the difference between the 2 videos, the 2 recipes. For the cake part, the recipe is a little bit different. We're going to use, I'm using all-purpose flour, excuse me a second. As I was saying, I'm using the all-purpose flour for the one that I'm using. I'm mixing it up a little bit because I was confused with the eggs. I am using all egg whites, but I already put 6 in my bowl because I was again trying to follow the one that I saw online. Both of them are online. The video that she's making, she's using cake flour. So I'm not going to use the cake flour. I'm using the all-purpose flour. So the one I'm going to be making for the cake is the 2 cups of granulated sugar, 2 sticks of butter. I'm not using 4 large eggs. I'm going to use 6 egg whites, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. She used 2. 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. She used on her video 2 1/4 cup of cake flour. I'm using 1/2 a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. On the other one, it's 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I have it right here in front of me, so I don't want to be reading it wrong. Wait, pause 1 second. I misplaced it. It's right in front of me. I know it is. Oh, sorry, it's right here. She used 2 teaspoons of baking powder, okay? And she used salt. My butter is salted, so I'm not going to use salt at all. I never really do anyway. and she used 1 cup of whole milk. I'm using 1 cup of buttermilk, and it is room temperature. So I hope that didn't confuse you, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm still going to follow it the way she did, and that is she put the wet ingredients together. So I'm going to, see, that just make me have to use so many dishes just to show you guys. And so I may as well mix it together, but that wouldn't be right, would it? So I kind of want to do it that way. I'm going to use the buttermilk, 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, this could give me 4 eggs, and I won't use the other 2 that I was going to put in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I know that's going to, I really can't tell. I'm just going to use that many eggs, okay? That way I feel like I've used 4 eggs and sort of 5. And 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. I'm going to mix it. Pardon me as I look for my little whipper. I am doing fine. So I'm going to mix that up because this is what she did. She mixed everything up, the wet ingredients. Now hers look a little smoother because of she used whole milk. I'm using buttermilk. I just want to follow the instructions that she did, okay, guys? Only thing different that I'm doing is I'm using it with the, I hope this isn't a mess because it sure look like it right now. But anyway, I'm mixing it like that. To be honest, I just want to mix it the old way that you make cakes. They try to make some of the recipes like you got to do it this way or that way. You know, this way is better than that way. But back in the days, I know they did butter, sugar, make cream together. Then they add the dry ingredients, so on and so forth. So let's just do this. Put that to the side. And I'm going to use my mixer. And I'm just going to follow those simple instructions where I put half and half. I really just want to... okay. I'm just following my first mind. I really don't want to get that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. Okay. This is how she did this. She added the butter. I'm going to use my hand. She used the butter and the flour and the baking soda and all that stuff, and she put it in the bowl, in the mixer, and she did it that way. So hold one moment. So I'm going to just follow the instructions that she did earlier, where she put a little bit of she mixed a little bit of the flour, the dry ingredients together. Okay, she did that for just a couple of seconds. And then she added okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the sugar in there. And she called this the reverse method. Not with this part, but when I'm adding the butter, because I'm only going to add the butter in pieces. So that it won't be so gloopy, I think he said. And you can always go back to that recipe, that video, if you are interested in what I'm trying to say. But she did say a reverse method. And then what she did is added the butter in a piece at a time. Different. So your girl liked to try to, she used small pieces of butter. but I'm not gonna take that long. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm putting the butter in now. Okay. And then I'm gonna piece by piece by piece, and then I'll come back and then I add the milk. Because after I do this here, I gotta add the milk half, then add the other half. Listen to her reasoning.
Creaming. Our method starts by incorporating the butter into our dry ingredients. So essentially, the flour is getting coated with butter, and it's partially waterproofing it. So when we add the liquid ingredients to it, it's very difficult for gluten to form. So that's going to give us a more tender cake, more delicate crumb, and it's going to resist doming. So we have a flat cake, and that makes a good layer cake. So we'll turn this on.
So you heard it right from Christy's mouth. So that's what reverse method is. So, and it's supposed to look like this. So now I'm gonna add the milk. I'm only gonna add half of the milk to it. Again, she used whole milk. That's still not half. So here it goes. Probably should use my mixer. So, and I'm not right-handed. Okay, let's go ahead and just put the rest of it in there. That's gonna make it smooth. All right. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I was feeling a little bit scared of her method. She's a professional. I'm just a homemaker. So, but it's looking good. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit more. I'm excited now because it's looking like it should. So I'm just gonna keep mixing this and I'll be right back. Now I have my 3 pans ready. Guys, I did flour them. Flour the old-fashioned way, and then I put the parchment paper in the bottom, and then I sprayed it a little bit with some Pam flour stuff, you know, the Pam, just to make sure that they don't stick, which I don't think they will, but that was just to, you know, to make sure. So now I'm just going to evenly distribute the cake batter into the pans, and I hope I do a good job because, you know, doing 3 is not the same as just doing 2, you know. So here we go. How I try to make it look even is to, you know, count the spoons as I go. Just one more big dollop there. One more big dollop there. This one looked like a little less than the other one, because I really want them to be even so that when they come out, I don't have to do any, you know, manipulating, cutting off or any of that kind of stuff to make it right. So I hope that that is even enough. And what I'm going to do, I'm only going to cook them for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then in the middle of that time, I'm going to go in and turn them around, just, you know, just to make sure that they looking good, you know, do this number. That's all. But right now they look like they're perfectly even. I pray that they rise right, and you'll see me in just a moment, because we'll be done in just a few moments. So, hey, thanks for being with me. I know it's a long video, but it's worth watching. Alrighty, now I think we are ready. So, took out the blueberry jam. That's looking beautiful. Okay. I have this, and this, and of course my turntable. Okay. The cakes are ready. I have them on the racks. I'm definitely gonna need to do the crummy, you know, pick up the crumbs, because it did loosen from the sides, so it did come out perfectly even. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the cakes. Now, I guess I can do what I see others do, and that is take a little bit of the frosting and stick on the cake, right? Let's do that. I mean, on the bottom of the cake. I went ahead and put the purple, the other two in the refrigerator. I'm just going to take that. I hate picking up cakes because I get really nervous. So bear with me as I do what I do. Don't take my top off. Oh, you see that? I almost took my top off. Hold on, I gotta fix the cake on the. See? All right. Don't panic, Shonda. Don't panic. Everything is well. Trying to make it even. Alright, so we got that one on. Now, let's wipe this off. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some of the blueberry jam. Wow, guys, this blueberry jam is, let's stir it up a little bit because it's a little bit, it's definitely jelly form. And it's been in there longer than 3 hours. I'm gonna give it a stir. I'm not trying to have no stiff stuff on. Alright. There we go. Just give it a little stir. I'm just gonna, you know what, I don't think I'm supposed to use this either for this. I'm gonna use a spoon. Alright. Put just about that much on, she said. I'm just going to begin to spread it. She said don't put too much because you don't want it to over spill. So, and guys, I tasted earlier, it was very good. So I'm just going to spread that on. You can already see I'm nervous, huh? Let's go ahead and use this. I can always wash this off. I don't want to put it too thick, but I don't want it too thin either. And so this video won't be too long. You see how I'm doing this one, and that's exactly how I'm going to do the other one. You guys don't need to see me be too nervous. You've already witnessed that. I'm going to leave a little bit off the edges. A little bit more. Don't be afraid. I think that would do. But I think we want it to look like it's on the side, right? Just don't spill over. I made blueberry jam. How diggity. Alright, I think that's about right. We'll ask Christy. Christy, what do you think if you ever watched this video? I want to give you a shout out. Thanks for sharing, showing and telling, and piquing my interest. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the other two on. Pray for me, and I'll see you in a moment. I showed you all that, right? I might as well just show you this too. I ain't gonna hurt. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. To get on down. Look, let's keep it nice and smooth.
You be jamming.
And easy. Thank you, hon. So, you said just keep it right around, not too close on the edges. Can you guys see that? It's coming out really nicely. I was a little bit afraid though, because this was a lot of little steps, you know. It looks like a simple cake, but in order to do it with perfection, you really have to, you know, follow step by step. And so that was the right amount of blueberries, I tell you that. Okay, so I think that should be plenty enough, because after the weight, go weigh it down a little bit, it might spill over. I hope that's not what it does. So she had made it look so easy. but I tell you, it takes a little bit of love when you're doing this part. And just because I do get a little bit afraid, I'm not going to show you me trying to put that cake on here. See you in a second. Hey. I think I'm not going to get too happy because I got to now try that thing that I don't do well all the time. That is, what you call it when you put that first layer to get the crumbs off the cake. Crumbs. But let's look at this. Look. Okay, calm down, because I'm not finished yet. But I'm very thankful that I'm just about there, and it is looking like I did it right. Now we're gonna put the crumb coat on. I'm not a professional at this. I've only done this a couple times and I haven't been too happy with how it turns out. So let's get started. Got my paper towel so that I can wipe with if I need to. I'm also watching her over there. But this is what she did. Very thin layer. Let's not drip it already, Shonda. Oh yeah, I don't think I want to like put it back in there because this is just for the crumbs, right? So I kind of want to get more than that. So there, I'll fix that. And after I do this, well, there's no crumbs on it. After I do this part, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes so that it'll cool off or sit. I really appreciate you guys taking the time and, joining me as I try something new, something different. Coming out pretty good, no crumbs. But this is to catch the crumbs so that when I do the layering of the frosting, it'll be nice and smooth. I tell you the truth, I've always been nervous when I do this kind of thing. Really scared. But I have confidence now because I'm all about learning how to change, do things new. And yeah. So I'm going to do this all around the cake. You don't have to sit and watch me, but I'm going to finish this and I will return. Now that I've finished putting the crumb coat on, I'm now going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and then I'll come back and put the two bottom layers on it, which is the dark purple, then the lighter purple, and then I'll do that little design that she did. This is, again, first time for everything, and it's even too. My cakes usually come out a little lopsided or something, and I'm just, thank you, Lord.
Look pretty? We just want to have a really nice thin layer around the whole cake. So I'm totally covered now, but I have...
All right, now here at the end, and I'm about to do the bottom part. Hope you can see that. Guys, it is purple plum color. I don't know why my camera is showing you. I don't know how to make it where you could see the actual color that it is, but it's purple. It is not pink, and though it looks pink on there. Sorry about that. But I had this in the refrigerator because she did say, put it in there. So let's see how it takes. I'll take my time. You know what? I might have to let this thaw out just a little bit because it's frosting. It's not supposed to be hard yet. I don't think I want to get that high up. So I'm going to take my time on this one. Alright. As you can see there's a different color, right? It looks like it's darker pink, but it's not, it's purple. Purple is my favorite color, so I like to make sure I explain. So I'm going to let this sit out just for a few minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this, and you'll see the finished result. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so that's the first partial part. I know it looks a little bit different, weird kind of, but I'm following her. I'm not trying to mix the two colors. So now I'm going to clean off the spatula and start on part 2. Let's see. We are here at the end, and I did my best. I have the ombre look. Mine is more pink than purple. I did the swirl around and at the top, as you could see. I wish I could make it more perfect than it is, but it is what it is. So I swirled the colors kind of together, and as you can see, I did it good on the top. Kaleidoscopy, she said. And I rounded the colors, and since I really have 2 major colors, I just went ahead and did the 2 because you can't even see that this hue is darker than this one. I should have really put more purple into this one and just a little bit more in here, and it would have been 3 different. But you can see that the top, I don't know if you can even see it. But that is it, guys. I did my best, and I love how it came out. You can definitely see the top at least. But
sure looks good to me.
it's even. I know it's going to be beautiful on the inside, so I'm going to cut this cake right after we have dinner, and then you could tell me what you think then. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I know this is a long video, but it was worth watching. If it was, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and you'll see me in my next video. Thanks for watching. I had to go and get my right light, but you see now, I think that kind of gives it some justice right there. I did the kaleidoscope. It's 2 different purples instead of 3, but you can see the outcome, right? Y'all wasn't gonna leave before I cut the cake, right? So let's get this cake cut. Let's do it. Let's see, did we achieve a beautiful inside as well as a beautiful outside? Here we go. Come on over, huh?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Wait, I need to turn this so y'all can see this cut. Like, I mean, just that little split just shows you that it's gonna be a nice cut. Oh my, it's gonna cut nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Babe, you wanna get a fork? Christy, this is for you. I want to thank you for helping me achieve such a... Look at that, guys.
That's what I would call a perfect slice. you, one for me. Okay, let's check this out.
Wait a minute. Let's
Wait a
do it
minute,
together. Come on over here. Come on over here. He's not really a big blueberry fan, neither am I, but we're going to see if this is... No, you give me to me.
Oh!
Oh!
That was...
Not like that.
Well, no, not like that, but you changed directions on me.
Well, I just wanted to do it the sweet way.
Oh, well.
So you mash it like that. You just mash
Here
it.
we go. Let's try it now. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, now let me pick up my mess.
I'll get it, honey.
No, you got it?
Talk to the folks about what you think.
I think it's very tasty. I was surprised at how good it is.
Oh my goodness, it's delicious.
Yeah, it is really good. So, I would recommend it.
Well, if we had some neighbors that was interested, because we ain't gonna eat it all by ourselves, so I'm gonna have to invite people over.
That would work.
The lemon that I had to put in the blueberry jam gave it a nice zing. I've never made jam before, and I can tell you it's jamming in my mouth. Mm.
Very good.
And I saved a little bit to put on my peanut butter sandwich because I made jam.
No,
He doesn't like peanut butter.
not peanut butter.
Yes,
not
I
on this.
Not on a cake, but on a sandwich. Good, folks. It's moist. It's delicious. And it'd be so good with ice cream.